Hello, everybody. I am Drew Duncan. Do not forget that Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan Radio. Additionally, you can find me on YouTube and Patreon by looking for Drew Duncan Radio, and I am wherever you are listening to podcasts. Simply tell your device to play Drew Duncan on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. I am wherever you are listening to podcasts. The new Fast and Furious trailer dropped today. Well, it's the teaser trailer. Let me go ahead and give you all a little sample of that real quick.
See, when you do this, watch your fingers because you can get hurt. 3/8 driver, 6-inch extension. Are you sure? Things change. Now that I'm a father, I can't live my life a quarter mile at a time anymore. I'll always be in your heart.
Hi, little Brian. I have a gift for you.
Your daddy gave me this.
No, I'm gonna give it to you. It's for protection from what's coming.
So there's that, the teaser trailer. Look, I used to really love Fast and the Furious, right? When the first one came out, there wasn't, I don't think, anybody that I knew that didn't want to be a drag racer in some capacity, that didn't start thinking about souping up their cars. The way we started looking at vehicles really changed. I mean, if I'm going to equate it to anything, it really did have the same type of impact as Smokey and the Bandit, maybe even more so, because obviously that was right around the time when social media started to come in, right? MySpace was really big. I mean, there were just a lot of different things, and I think all that helped. The internet was really exploding. People were online talking about it. I mean, I'm really revealing my age here, but does anybody remember chat rooms, AOL chat rooms? Used to go in there and you would talk to people and you could instant message people privately and all those kinds of things. And that was just awesome. And we were all talking about Fast and Furious. It was a great movie. And, a lot of people didn't like the second one, but I did. I really enjoyed that flick. I thought it was a good movie. It was, look, they even said, we just really want to make a cool movie. And that's exactly what they did. And then I think everything got kind of lost and they kind of had to repiece everything. And the last movie I thought was really good. And Vin Diesel even came out and said, guys, it's going to be a 10-part series. So it's kind of like, all right, buckle up, saddle in, get ready. Let's see how this thing, finishes out. And so I really like that they brought it back around, because the first movie really had nothing to do with street racing if you were really paying attention. It really was about family. It really was conundrums. I mean, there are life situations where it was right around that era where we started to get away from the black and white and right and wrong and find all those areas of gray. And that was what made that storyline so great, right? The late Paul Walker playing an undercover cop. You basically have no idea that he is undercover until you finally see him talking with other people. That his character is a police officer, is 5'0". That his character is a police officer, is 5'0". You have no clue. And that was part of what made that movie great. And then, of course, at the end, hey, man, I owe you a 10-second car. And then we see in the second one where Tyrese's character feels abandoned by him, feels betrayed, because they used to do a lot of stuff together, right? And so now, I told you, man, it wasn't my fault. If there was anything I could have done, then, of course, I think I let him go because of you. I mean, and then, of course, he goes back to being a Fed. And, then all those things, all those storylines, you find those twists and turns. And, this last one, obviously, when they've resurfaced it, we brought that back, right? They brought that feeling back. You know, he's got a kid. He loses the woman who had his child. I mean, all those things. You know, Letty comes back, and all those things really start to take shape. And I think that's what makes the movie great. Look, the action sequences, how many can you legitimately come up with? There's going to be some corny stuff in there. There's going to be some stuff that makes you shake your head. You know, you're going to go, oh, come on, bullshit. You know what I mean? Seriously. I mean, that's why I stayed away from, what was that? Not the Equalizer. The Transporter, right? The Transporter. I mean, come on, there's that scene where that dude, you know, he's driving and he flips his car and just barely nicks the bomb off, you know, and then he flips it again in midair and he lands. And, you know, there's a lot of people that think that's cool. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I can suspend that much reality. But we're kind of asked to do so in these movies now. And I think we all need to be honest and know that we're going to see these movies. We really are. Everybody says, oh, no, I'm not. At some point, you will. You may not go to the movie theater. You may not get it on Hulu. You may not get it on Netflix. But at some point, it's going to be on TV. And you know what? You're going to go, It's one of those things, right? We're all a little too invested at this point. We have to see how this damn thing ends. And I know that, you know, there are plenty of people that have their reservations because Walker, obviously, through his passing, can no longer be involved. I think that I understand that emotion. I really do. Having lost several family members, I mean, really in 2018, you know, my grandmother, my 18-year-old brother, my aunt, my dad, all within about 6 months of each other. I mean, that was hell. And so I understand that sentiment. But by the same token, we do have to move on. We do have to march on. And I think that the series has done a very good job of recognizing where it is, what it is now. Vin Diesel, I think, has taken a very respectful approach to it. So is MichelleRodriguez. I mean, you know, everybody involved, I think, has done their part. And so I'm appreciative of the stance that they take, you know, and I think the series could finish up tough. I think it could have a very strong finish, you know. I don't know. I'm probably going to end up seeing it in a movie theater, but that's just because, you know, I'm really a movie buff, man. I really am. You know, something about it. I don't know what it is. I love going to the movies. I love the sound of popcorn popping and, you know, people with their drinks and you hear curtains and, you know, just the whole atmosphere is really intoxicating to me. I mean, I probably go and see beer is really intoxicating to me. I mean, I probably go and see 30 movies a year, maybe even more. I mean, I really do enjoy going to the movie theater as much as I possibly can. I get there. So I like the atmosphere, and I think the way to see this movie is in IMAX. I mean, why? You know, why not? I mean, come on, I've got, you know, a Roku television sitting at home and my big old stereo and all that kind of stuff, but why not, you know, go enjoy the movie the way that it's really meant to be enjoyed? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm anxious for it in a lot of ways. I know it's kind of getting old hat to a lot of people. But like I said, I'm invested. I got to see how this damn thing ends, and so I'm going to ride it out, man. So let me know what you guys think. I am Drew Duncan. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan Radio. Additionally, you can find me on YouTube and Patreon by looking for Drew Duncan Radio. And do not forget that I am wherever you're listening to podcasts. Simply tell your device to play Drew Duncan on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and